Hey, this is Michael with digitaltshirtshop.com. So here's the good, the bad, and the ugly with April. Um, I guess I should start by recapping digitaltshirtshop.com. The whole purpose of having started this and doing these videos is to tell people how hard is it to start a business and actually make money when you start actually crunching the numbers and looking at this. So um, I'm actually doing this very simply, looking at just basic expenses and the basic cost that it costs me to do business. Um, so what I have here, I've gone all the way through the very end of April, put in all the sales, crunched all the numbers. I think I have them accurate on here. And so what we did is we started at negative 406 from carryover expenses from prior months. Honestly, if you had to tell you the truth, it's probably just the cost of the printer. The last couple of months is what that adds up to, the 406. So we've not even generated enough sales to cover the cost of the printer. Moving forward on that, revenue for the month of April, Etsy, we had 172.68, Amazon 286.34, and then an outside sale 229.65. Our expenses on Amazon, our fees ended up being 78.96 for the month. And that was actually a little carryover from March, but going forward, we'll just take two periods. I'll show you here in just a second. We'll take those two periods, bring the two periods in as the expenses for the month, um, as opposed to, it'll be a little bit off because they'll vary month to month. They're not going to go from the first of the month to the end of the month, but that'll be a lot easier than going and pulling out every fee for every shirt off of Amazon. The Etsy fees ended up being 103.07, the pattern fee, the printer fee, and then our basic shirt and printing and mailing fees. So these revenues include freight. You can see down here we have actually the product plus the freight. It gives us a total 172.68. Then over here, what it actually cost us to mail it is coming out of the postage fee over here. The ink, the cost of the shirt, the cost of the supplies, that would be the mailer, the labels, the ink, and for the other printer and the stickers and cards I put in and those types of things. So um, we had a net of almost $50. So $688 in sales. We made almost $50. That is horrible. That is beyond horrible. I mean, that is like, that is really horrible. Um, I'm going to just go like that. That is 6.8% horrible. Um, I mean, people don't stay in business making 6.8%. Now, this is a home based business, so I'm not paying for rent and necessarily electricity. I'm not taking out and heating my house and insurance and security and all the other things that I might pay for if I've actually got my business in another location. Um, so I'm not covering all those expenses, but the $50 wouldn't have even have come close to covering all of that. $50, that is horrible. Well, we took the 406 down a notch to 159, so now we're down to 359, but it could have been improved. We spent in the ballpark of $75 on Etsy doing advertising. So I'll come over here and I'll show you this. So in one case, our Etsy, I can just look at Etsy here and it will tell me that we started at 1863. We had 103.07 in fees, and the 103.07 in fees was related to the majority of it related to um, the the promotions. 9404 and deposits, and they actually bill you separate for each of those. So anyhow, if we go and we look at the promotions. So I changed it to $3 a day. We started at one, went to two, went to three, and our sales are atrocious on it. We are spending more money on advertising than we're actually bringing in. We brought in 70/10. Actually, it's cost us 70/10. We've made 77/94, which is like we spent like 90-95% on advertising to sell the shirts that we've sold. Um, we've spent $20 over on the Google side, so the 70 plus the 20, that's $90 right there, just in advertising fees. We're just not making anything off of this. What it makes me want to do is, because honestly, if we're not making anything off of it, I mean, it's costing, you take my my shirts are going to cost about 20% of this price, 20 to 25%, because we lowered the price so much. That's going to cost us $14 to $20. Probably let's round it to $20. Say it's going to cost us $20 in product. We made $7, $8. We're basically in the hole. We might as well have not advertised. And had we sold something on Etsy, we would be ahead of ourselves. Now, I'm going to make some assumptions here. One, I'm going to make the assumption that maybe we're not selling as much because I need more products listed on here. More products will improve our odds of selling on here. In addition to that, one other thing that I'm wondering, we make more money when the shirts cost more. You sell a $15 shirt versus a 11 or $14.99 versus $11.99 adult shirt. We're going to make more money off of each shirt. And I'm almost wondering if maybe people aren't buying as many because the price is too low. They think they're buying a crappy t-shirt. And they're not crappy t-shirts. I think the quality's good. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that and determine. I may want to go back and revamp all of the listings and raise the price back to $14.99. The low price obviously is not helping us. Now on my other Etsy site, I didn't prepare that by pulling that up. We're actually doing quite good. Our advertising expense is probably 20-25%, which is close to where I want it to be. But we're selling a lot of shirts on Etsy. We're selling actually quite a few shirts on Etsy. And we're selling them at the higher price, the $14.99 a shirt price. So, I'm not quite sure. Now, the other thing is I've got a lot more shirts listed. So, when I do the Etsy advertising, I'm hitting a lot more people. I want to say I've got 450 products listed or something like that, which is a lot more than the 50 that we have here. And so I'm likely catering to a lot more interests, a lot broader variety of interests. So anyhow, this is what it looks like right now. If we go back to this, I'm going to I probably am going to turn the Etsy promotions off for a while. We need the sales to come up. It's, to me, looking at that, it's not doing me any good to lose money on the shirts. I would rather be making a small profit than no profit. I wanted to do a little comparison here. So we've done now this, I'm going to exclude this information right here because it's kind of an outlier. We did it to help somebody out. We didn't make the normal margin we would on our normal product. So I'm just going to look at the prior, the Amazon and the Etsy sales. We did basically 27 shirts between Amazon and Etsy. My goal is to get up to 20 shirts a day. This is in the ballpark of one shirt a day. And at one shirt a day, we made $50. It still hurts even saying it, even thinking about it. It wasn't even $50. It was $47.10. We really didn't do well. So one shirt a day, and we actually made, what, $1.75 a day, or $1.50 a day, something in that ballpark. Um, I mean, it's atrocious. It's horrible to even think about it. So all the work that I put into listing products and the printing products and all of those things, and it probably spent at least an hour a day or 2 hours a day on it. If I spent 2 hours a day, I literally made like 75 cents an hour. If I put an hour a day, and I know I don't know, I probably have put an hour a day, 2 hours a day, 2 hours a day into it. 75 cents an hour. It's horrible. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It's horrible. Um, Looking forward, so getting it up to 100 shirts a day. So I kind of crunched some numbers here. I'm going to change that. It's not going to help a lot. I'm going to make that fit just a little bit better so you can see both. Well, that's not going to necessarily work all that well, but um, so I took just a basic kids t-shirt here at $9.99 and kind of looked forward at, okay, well, what if I sold 100 shirts versus 500 shirts on this? We already know at 25 shirts we made $50. Uh, 4 times that, so 50 times 4 would be $200. But if I take the promotions out of it, the $90 in promotions that we spent here, the numbers would have been much better. We would have been up in the ballpark of $150, $130. We're going to have to spend money on promoting it, but we've got to get it to where the promoting is actually working. And at this point, what I really see is that it probably would work better if I had more variety and more options for people to pick on the website. So I'm just going to leave that out for now. What I'm including is just basic Amazon or Etsy listing fees. I'm just leaving Amazon out for right now. But if we sold 100 shirts, given what they cost and what the sales are and all those things, we would actually come out in the ballpark of $500 profit. If we were, and that's an average of 3.3 shirts a day. If we were to do 500 shirts a day, which is an average of 16.6 shirts a day, and I'll tell you that's hard. Even on my other site, I'm actually on my other Etsy site, probably, I want to say I'm probably averaging 4 or 5 shirts a day. It's not. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, because I'm probably 4 shirts a day. Because I want to say I'm closer to about $1,500 ish a month in Etsy sales. So, anyways, it is hard. I'll tell you already to get up to 16 shirts a day. I don't think it's impossible because people are doing that. There are people who are selling 5 to 10,000 shirts a year on Amazon, which would put them in the 10 to 20, 30 shirts a day. I guess if you were at 10,000 shirts a month, 10,000 divided by 365, it's getting up to 30 shirts a day. So, anyways, I know people are doing that. But it's very few people are doing that. So, anyways, if we were able to get up to 500 shirts a day, we could potentially be bringing in $3,000 or $4,000 a month. That's excluding advertising. With the Etsy maxing the advertising at $10 a day, you're looking at between $300 and $600 a month if you were doing both Etsy and Google advertising every month, and that would put you closer to 3,000. Still a lot of work to print 500, to do 16 shirts a day. If it was just straight printing and mailing, for me it's probably 2 or 3 hours of work to do that without having to do all the other talking to people and conversations and things you have with or if you have to modify every order or things like that, that can add a substantial amount of time to what you're doing. But anyways, that's kind of where we're at. As it is, I think, looking forward, I mean, if we could get the sales up, I think there's potential at 100 shirts a day. I mean, 100 shirts a month. I'm not really making a lot of money. It's extra money coming into my household, but it's really not substantial. 500 shirts a day, 500 shirts a month, apologize. Um, I really could be making some good money for my household, but that's going to take a lot of work to hit that number. I mean, it's going to take really a lot of work. And as it's looking right now that I made $50, $47.10. Holy cow. So do I want to start a business? Well, you start a business and realize that things aren't going to go perfect. You start a business and realize that it's going to take a while to make some money. And you got to realize that things just may not look good all the time, and sometimes it is some trial and error. I would be, like I said, I would be much better off, I think, stopping the promotions on Etsy, selling a number of fewer shirts, but actually making a larger profit off of those shirts by not having the substantial fees that I'm bearing with Etsy. And I'd likely would come out ahead than where I'm coming out right now in the negative. When I look at my cost of goods sold together with my Etsy fees, I'm just in the hole. Um, and so that's one change I'm going to make. The other change is I've got to get more items listed on Etsy. Now, I do have a lot that I can list. I may have to go and list the help of my sister-in-law. She's been really good at helping me with my other Etsy site, getting some additional products put on, but that bears a cost as well. It's a cost that I bear up front, and paying her to, she doesn't do it for free. I don't make her do it for free. But having her help me get those items listed where I don't have a lot of time to sit and list them, she can help me list them. And by having the products online, again, I think the odds are in my favor to sell a lot more shirts. So I may do that as well here in the next couple of days. We'll see how that goes and see if Sam, my sister-in-law, is willing to do that for me. And then maybe our numbers will improve here. Maybe we can turn around and make May a little bit better. Now, I was going to review Amazon real fast, so I did go in and put in the last periods. So the last period that ended on April 29th, we had $141.86 in charges, product charges. Those are sales. Our Amazon fees were $24.32. That was our freight that we accumulated for those sales. We did not have a subscription fee, so you're going to have a subscription fee every other period. So this was the first part of April. This is the second part of April. I'm going to combine, though I combined those two in order to give us the Amazon fee total over here. Now I'm just doing the basic fees. What is Amazon charging us as fees? And as long as I account for those in each month, then that's fine. So I'm just going to take 2 periods every month, even though they're not going to line up from the 1st to the 30th or whatever. So Amazon appears to be holding the deposits for 2 weeks. I know when I do FBA, Amazon FBA, they just immediately, every time the period ends, I get a deposit, which is really nice. In this case, they're actually holding it for about 2 weeks. So for my first period that ended on April 15th, I actually didn't get paid till the 30th for the $43. In this case, I finished the month with $137.72. They're again holding it. I probably will get it paid around the 15th of April in another 2 weeks. I did go in and I added up the cost of goods sold. I kind of just went and did 2 additions here based on when the periods broke. And came up with the cost of goods sold, and then looked at a net profit or loss. And so, I mean, the numbers could be better here too. Really, they could be better. Uh, I had out of the 137, 24.32 in Amazon fees plus my 60.94 and cost of goods sold. I made $76, which is 54%. Now that's not bad. If again we're talking about the actual price of the products, if my shirts were $2 or $3 higher across the board, that's going to go up substantially. 60, I mean, I'd probably be at 65, 70%. Um, Now you can see the difference here between looking at just the what I received. Let's see, what was I actually looking at with this? I mean, this was looking at the Amazon fees divided by, it should be the Amazon fees divided by the undeliverable amount is what it should be, to determine what the actual Amazon fees were. Um, that's where it looks like it's pulling from somewhere else though. So I have to go and play with that a little bit and figure out what it's doing there. Oh, there you go. So basically, I'm taking the Amazon fees, which would be the Amazon fee here plus the subscription fee, and dividing it by what my total deposit was. Just this is intended to give me an idea of how much in fees I'm being charged by Amazon. And originally, I was saying that it's probably around 20%, and in this case, it's looking like it's a little bit less than that. And then I'm dividing it by -1 to get a positive number there. So 17.66, which is not bad. But you add the 17.66% to with me selling the shirts at a lower price, about 25%. That's if you invert that, it's 46% the cost of goods sold based on the Amazon fees and the cost of my product, so and cost of freight. So uh, that could be improved again by raising the price of the shirts, but in general, you're going to make a lot of money based on volume. You got to get more people to buy them. So that is a summary of April and some assumptions that I'm making. And I'm going to think about that pricing. It takes a lot of work to go back and reprice everything back to the higher price. But it may or may not be worth it. I don't know. I don't know. I got to think about it a little bit. But the one thing that I'm going to take away from this is that I had really still a crappy month, even though we had $688 in sales, 47 bucks, horrible, 6%, 6.8% profit. So um, that's what we got for April. So welcome to owning a business.